I wonder which one we saw there. They were both perfect. So it didn't matter. Alessia Dudnik, to her went the honor of the first 10. Now this is her teammate, Lashanova. Followed her with the same vault and the same result. Well, I thought Dudnik had actually done a single twist in hers, but she hadn't. She put 2 in. It wasn't quite the same vault. Single twist there from Lashanova, but she does it so brilliantly, and the tariff's still so high that it was enough. Gabriela Potorak, also on tape. The A-bars.
Very nice combination there. Inward full from the hop change position on the top bar, straight into the Jaeger somersault. Potorak developed into a fine, mature gymnast.
And the score for that one, 9.925, and it provided the prelude to this. Daniela Silevash coming up last of the Romanian team. And the idea to build the scores for her, and Silevash now taking up the challenge thrown down by the Soviets. The Delchev somersault tucked in there, very difficult.
A new full twisting element on the bottom bar added to her routine since Seoul, and that was just enough to put the icing on the cake for the Romanians. A 10 from Daniela Silevash.
Big smile from her. It went very well. She knew right away that she had to stand a good chance of making the 10. I was keeping an eye while we were watching the floor on that exercise, and the judges took a long time deliberating. There the dismount, the shoot front with half twist. And there, confirmation, Daniela Silevash with the perfect 10. What a competition already. As the gymnasts take a break, we'll take one too. Welcome back. You're watching Eurosport and the World Gymnastics Championships. The second rotation of this final subdivision has just started. The Soviet Union still in the lead at the end of that first round, as we expected. But the really interesting thing there is that China on the beam, a very difficult piece to start on, outscored the Romanians on that first rotation. The Chinese scoring 49.674 and the Romanians scoring 49.637. It is so tight. And there, Ma Ying, the first Chinese competitor on the floor. That's where the Chinese have gone. The Soviet Union have now moved to the asymmetric bars. The United States to the vault, and Romania to the beam.
And Ma Ying making a sad mistake, stepping out of the floor area at the beginning of her exercise and then putting her hands down at the end of the exercise. So now she really has put the pressure on the rest of her teammates to put in perfect exercises.
She'll have lost at least 0.4, and you can tell from those marks you saw in the first rotation that 9.9s are the order of the day. That's where you've got to be, and she's being marked out of 9.6. Great disappointment. But obviously, floor, not her best piece. She was last up on beam, which means she's very strong on that piece of apparatus. On A-bars, Elena Sazhenenkova, the second Russian up.
Fabulous form there. High Jaeger somersault into undershoot on the bottom bar. The Soviets really are wonderful at variety on both bars, not just the high bar, but their transition from high to low bar.
She'd got all her difficulty in, didn't need to do anything too spectacular at the end there. Double tuck back, lands it beautifully. And little Svetlana Baitova doing a great job for the Russians, as first up she went before Sajunenkova and put in a 9.9 starter again.
And there's that sailing high Jaeger into the undershoot to handstand on the bottom bar, John. Wonderful work.
Lovely work, particularly as she swung it high above the bar, the Jaeger somersault. So many of the girls just sort of fall off it and quickly get the spin in, but that was a true Jaeger. And then the Ginga somersault to follow. And
it's not just the quantity of what the Russians produce, but the quality. It is really excellent work. 9.95.
And that means there were a couple of 10s in there from the judges. And she's only the second girl up. Third to go for the Russians on this piece, little Olesya Dudnik.
And Olesya bound to be nervous on this piece. It was in the compulsory exercise that she dropped a score. She dropped right down to 9.362, putting in an extra swing, but starting off with a French somersault over the bottom bar.
In steps Alexandrov, so she's going for the Kachev. Off he goes again.
She had a mini crisis on the bottom bar. She missed her hand and managed to continue as though nothing had happened. I think it was just a heartbeat that would have been noticeable.
Obviously a few problems with that piece of apparatus for her, but got through that. Look at her face. And that hurt. On to beam. Aurelia Dobre, she's the defending world champion, but our sources in the Romanian camp tell us that in fact they weren't going to work her. She's had 2 operations on her knee. She was going to come here mainly to give the other girls confidence and act as reserve, but they've got so many injury problems, in the end they've had to work her. Nothing wrong with that though.
Just shows the thoroughness of the learning process to be able to be out of gymnastics for a long time with an injury and come back and not lose your bottle on the beam, because it's all about courage. And usually a layoff saps the courage.
Just the little hesitation, meaning that the final move wasn't linked. Nice little unusual travel along the beam. Crowd appreciate it.
Of course, it won't be on the beam that Dobre will really feel the knee, just on the landings. That was an excellent exercise, stylish, full of difficulty.
Looks in great form. Everybody trained to peak for these championships, and they felt that she perhaps wasn't quite there. Dudnik's bar score 9.862, and Natalia Lashonova next to go up, 4th up for the Soviets.
Lashonova, a really powerful little gymnast. Very tight. That was a beautiful Ginga, probably the best we've ever seen produced by a female on the A bars, into the stolder on the bottom bars.